Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
What's going on, everyone? This is your guy, Pat Bernard, right here for the Attacking Third. Season 5 of the Attacking Third. I'm your host, Patrick Bernard. A lot to get into with the Philadelphia Union. A lot. Unlike the Philadelphia Phillies right now, this team is staying hot. Hot. Without their best players. There's no Ty Baribo. There is no Quinn Sullivan. And yet, this Philadelphia Union team stays red hot. You want to know why? Because they know they have a head coach that just knows how to win. This all goes back to Bradley Carnell. He's a great coach. He's been doing this thing for quite some time, and he just makes all the right adjustments. I don't know what people have to say more. I don't know how is he not in line for Coach of the Year. He's got this Philadelphia Union team, first team to reach 40 points, mind you. 40 points as this Philadelphia Union team has now reached. Yesterday, they get a clean sheet in Chicago last night. Bruno Diami picks up a penalty, gets the penalty kick, and makes Chicago Fire pay the piper. A costly mistake off of one of their defenders, and he makes them pay the piper. But this is how you know you have a good soccer team, ladies and gentlemen. Because when you don't have your top stars in your lineup, potentially your MVP in your lineup, and you could look at you can rely on your defense to step up, and this is what the Philadelphia Union has done. Their defense has stepped up tremendously. Look at all the block. You go look at last night's game, right? Look at all the broken up plays that the Philadelphia Union's defense has done. Like every time the Chicago might have felt like they have something going, they can come up and dial up a big play. Wrong. The Philadelphia Union said, no. They track the defenders track down the players and they break up plays. And this is what the Philadelphia Union's defense is instructed to do. Break up plays, make sure you don't come up with something. Making sure that the Chicago Fire couldn't dial up something offensively where they couldn't get creative, where they couldn't create havoc. The Union defense stepped up. And like I said, they track players down. They break up the big plays. Chicago Fire thought they were going to get creative. They thought they were going to be able to create havoc down low. And the Union defense said, no, not today. But this is what their Union defense is of. And again, it circles back to Bradley Carnell and his mindset. Like last night, there's no Ty Baribo in the lineup. There's no Quinn Sullivan in the lineup. Last week, Jose Bueno steps up. Last night, Bruno Diami steps up in a penalty kick. Like every night, there's someone stepping up here. You don't know who to keep your eyes on. You don't know. That's what frustrates the opposing team. Because for 90-plus minutes, this Philadelphia Union team causes nothing but pain and punishment and agony on offense and on defense. I love Jim Curtin. I will always say that. But I've yet to see anything like this. Anything like this. Where the offense is sound, fundamentally sound, and the defense is second to none. Like I said, I feel like in the MLS, there's the Philadelphia Union, and then there's MLS teams. Like, it's crazy seeing this being displayed in front of us. And it goes back to the head coach. It goes back to Bradley Carnell running this team, running this organization. And again, I was wrong. I can admit I was wrong about the Philadelphia Union front office after letting Jim Curtin go. Because Bradley Carnell has checked all the boxes. And they were right. I was wrong. I was hoping the Philadelphia Union front office was wrong after releasing Jim Curtin. And I was wrong. I was wrong. I can admit it. I have no shame, no backbones. I can say I was wrong about that. This team knows how to win without their big playmakers in the lineup. You saw it last night. This team stepped up last night on defense. You see why Jake Glesnes is going to the All-Star game, because he breaks up the big play. The big dog breaks up the big play. You know, the just where Chicago was getting comfortable, looking like they're going to dial up something big here, getting creative. No. The big dog in this defense steps up and protects their goalkeeper. And look at Andrew Rick already. 4 clean sheets. 4 under his belt already. With him and Andre Blake, a combine of 8. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this before. This team is sick good. And we know this team is going to be on the road. We know this team is going to be was going to deal with it. But I got somebody who's ready to join me, because he knows that the Philadelphia Union need to be talked about, need to be addressed. And this Sunday is going to be the rematch, because the last time they met, it ended up in draw. Sunday night, no better place. So let's see what happens with my man, Steve Funentes, joining me live.
What's going on?
Steve, what's up, dude?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
You can hear me good? All right. Yeah.
Steve, I don't know how to decipher this. It's not bad, by the way. It's a great summer. It's a great summer knowing that your Philadelphia Union team looks like it's going to be carrying the Philadelphia sports team scenery to at least the fall, because this team is on the road without their big stud playmaker, and there's someone always answering the bell, to use a Philadelphia perspective. There's always someone answering the bell, always someone answering the call to step up. Last week it was Bueno. This week it was Nyami. I mean, there's someone always answering, and more so what you highlighted, it was the big dog. It was Jacob Glesnes break on the big play. So, Steve, take it away. What did you see last night?
Well, the Phillies aren't ringing the bell, so the Union have to, right? Someone has to be ringing the bell in Philly. No, it's you nailed it. Every week after week, especially during this time when there's been injuries, you've had players gone for international duty, so you have depth now. You know, and I heard you talking about Curtin earlier. You know, that was the biggest thing that Curtin, even the depth that he had, he didn't always use them. You know, he left some of those guys on the bench a little bit too long. Ty Baribo being one of those, who is an all-star now. Look at Glesnes. stepping up big in, the waning minutes of the game to come up with that big defensive stop at the goal line to seal the deal last night. That's a reason why he's an all-star. And another player, I would say, that really stepped up big, Bedoya, moving out of position, going to play right back. And, I mean, he's the oldest guy on the team, but he's the captain for a reason, right? And he is leading by example. I'm hoping now Sunday they get some guys back and they're able to kind of have a more, feel for, the squad that has they were nine unbeaten streak when Baribo, Uwa, and those guys were there. Now they're up to 13. So it'll be good to get some of the guys back. But hey, can't complain right now. Can't complain right now with this team.
Can't complain. Joe saying, hey, everyone. Ricky said he's watching. Thank you, Ricky, for watching the program. And then we got Joe saying, I know something. I'm getting pretty good with my predictions. Indeed, you are, Joey. This is why you're the man, the myth, the legend. But, you bring up at the Philadelphia Union, they got 12 wins, 3 losses, 4 draws, first team to reach 40 points, not just dominating everything on the Eastern Conference, but they are dominating things across the board. It doesn't matter who gets in front of them. Bradley Card, and it's weird. And again, not to make comparisons, the Jim Curtin was the ultimate people's guy. He was going down the shore. He was hanging out with the people. He just put a selfie of him hanging out at Phillies games and all this other stuff. And him wouldn't be the people's guy, the first guy to shake your hand in the press conference. I know as well. The friendliest guy you could think of. This guy here, not so much. He's all business. He's the Terminator. He's seek and destroy other MLS teams. He's here. He does their homework, does the research, does the videotape work on other teams, finds out their weaknesses, gets back in the laboratory, and dials up something here.
And, the one thing that people have to understand, everyone's saying, Carnell, this same thing happened at St. Louis, right? He had this magical start. You don't think that Carnell knows this? And he's coaching with a chip on his shoulder? You know what I mean? He knows that the microscope is on his previous club and what happened that first season. And he doesn't want what's going on with the Union now and their success to be, oh, well, he did that before and he failed. And he's going to end up doing the same thing here. I really feel like there's something special about this team. I mean, look at the lineup that they put out last night. So makeshift, so just put together, and they were able to they were able to make it work because what do we keep saying about these players? They're bought in to Carnell's system and his culture that he has established in that clubhouse.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. First of all, I got to give my man Chio here some love on TikTok. He says, good to see you doing your thing. Love you, brother. Love you too, my man. Yeah, it's you're right. It goes back to square one. You go back to the chalkboard of his message since day one he took over for the team. And it was to buy into his message. And this whole team, starting players, bench, mascot, mop boy, janitor, me, you, the whole city has bought in. And if you yet to apologize to Bradley Carnell and you still, I don't think anyone now, and I'm not going to say that, but I'm not going to say Jim who right now, but I mean, listen, like I had mentioned to you last week, Bradley Carnell came in here knowing he had big shoes to fill. Well, right now he's rocking Timberlands coming down, Delaware County right now, walking down Delaware County in Timberlands, walking down 291, coming off the bridge. He's wearing this Timberlands. He's wearing them proud. Those are some big shoes. That's all he does is take some names and kick some ass. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing what he does. He's a great, great coach. It's the world of a difference. What you get, it's crazy. Like totally two different worlds, but one guy is taking the league by storm. taken the league by storm. And last night, again, you're playing against an old teammate. You're seeing Mr. Elliott out there look like a dope.
Yeah.
But again, this Sunday night, big time prime matchup, 6 p.m. They're going to face up against another old teammate in Daniel Gosling. But I think this time they want to go for flush. They're going to go for the juggler. They're going to want to try to take a win. We got a comment coming in here. We got Joe Howell checking in. He goes, they need a new voice behind the bench, like business first mentally. Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
And that's what it was, Joe. Listen, we love Jim Curran. We understood he was the face of the franchise for 14 plus years. It was time to move on. Because we've grown so attached to Jim Curran because he was a people's person. He was down to earth. All those other things. He was a straight shooter and all those other things. He was, if something went wrong, he was the first guy to take the blame. He never threw a teammate under the bus. I mean, he was really good for all that. But this is where the business deciphers and gets different, where Bradley Carnell is not but business. And he's bringing the best out of all these guys. Everyone. He's bringing the best out of them. Like I said, Bradley Carnell, Andrew Rick, four clean sheets under his belt already. 4. He's already tied Andre Blake already. You got, and Andre Blake has got 4, so you got 8.
I was worried a little bit too last night, though, with how many chances and how close Chicago was to get into some of those goals. I was like, oh man, they're good. But again, that's the difference with this season to previous seasons. Those are the lucky breaks that the Union are getting. And I'm kind of at the point now where I expect the Union to, oh, here we go. Lights off. I expect the Union to go into these matches to win. 13 unbeaten, a 13-game match unbeaten streak, that doesn't just happen out of luck. They're finding ways to win. Moving forward now, they're going to also have to deal with a fan base, though, that is going to hold them to a certain standard, right? So, and you look at this, once they get through this road stretch, they have a fairly easy schedule, for this second half of the season. So I see Carnell keeping the foot on the pedal and still trying to, like you said, with this match coming up against Columbus, they want to step on that jugular and really kill these teams who are pretty close behind them in the standings.
Yeah, so you kind of raise my eyebrow on something with your statement, Steve, because if they do cakewalk, go 2-0 in the next 2 games without their big playmaker, without Ty Bariba, they go 2-0 against Charlotte. Against Columbus. Then they go down to Nashville, smash up Nashville for revenge. I think it's fair to say our expectations making the playoffs, now it's at least making it to the finals or bust now. And I don't know if that's fair to say with a brand new head coach. Is that fair to say with Bradley Carnell, it's make it to the finals or bust, or you just, hey, listen, just if he can make the playoffs, he passed my expectations. What was your expectations, or has it now? Like I said, if they blow out Columbus and Nashville, I think it may have to change.
So I, coming into the season, saw them fourth or fifth seed, heading into the playoffs. I still saw them as a playoff team. Seeing what they're able to do with their fully healthy squad, who, I'm going to be honest, I still don't think we've seen a fully healthy, put together Union squad. There's still kind of always been like one person out. One of those names, Glavinovich, when he gets back, imagine what that center back depth is going to look like and what that position is going to be. But if they can finish the regular season in first place, I don't see how. I wouldn't say championship or bust. I would say you at least got to make it to that title game if you're the first seed. Um, and it kind of sets the precedents forward now, moving forward for seasons. And I'm probably getting way ahead of myself, but next season I would say championship or bust. But I don't think you can say it's or bust this season in any sort of scenario.
No, I'm with you. I don't in any kind of capacity. I think it's too bullish, but Bradley Carnell is all for the challenges. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
he goes for it. I never seen it before. Again, I didn't see this team. Again, I was down and out. I had my hopes. I didn't want to blame Jim Curtin. I went to blame the talent that was on the field. It's their fault. It's not the head coach's fault. They're making a huge mistake by letting go of this guy. It's going to come back and bite him in the butt when the new guy gets in here. He's going to have to deal with all this crap. He's going to, the house is messed up and it's got nothing but damaged good things inside of it. And he's polished his house and he turned this thing into a mansion. And he's got these guys just hungry, to say the least. He's got hungry dogs in this team. He's got them barking. He's got them hungry. He's got them every game. They're ready to come out they're ready to be unleashed. Whether it's starting guys, bench guys, and again, that's what I love about Bradley Carnell, because I got to compare, you're the opposing defense. All right, listen, they're going to probably run with this formation. We got to get ready to stick Steve. No, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try playbook A. I'm going to try playbook B. Every game, you don't know what playbook he's going to roll out, but you better. And that's the thing that keeps the opposing defenses off their A game, because it's like, well, Steve's not in the lineup. What's going on? They got this guy Pat in there. What's going on? I mean, oh wait, they're bringing him off the bench. What? Like, I didn't see this. Like, he's got a bag of tricks for every opponent. And nobody
unconventional, right?
Unconventional, yep. Bag of tricks. No one knows what he's going to throw out. No one knows. No, the opposing defense don't know what he's going to dish out of them. He leaves them dazed and confused and stunned, and that's what we love about it. And like I said, prior to you hopping onto the show, the defense alone, the big dog Jacob Glesner is showing you why he's going to the All-Star break, showing you, the defense is showing you they're tracking down players. They're tracking them down, breaking up the big plays. Like, every time Chicago looked like they were on a breakaway, coming to get ready to score in transition. Then there was someone coming up behind them, breaking up a play, where, it became frustrating for Chicago.
And the one thing that I want to go back to, what you're saying about how, there's hungry dogs on this team and everything, is what I like about going back up against former Union players like Elliott. You have Gazdag. In a few weeks, it'll be McGlynn. There's enough new faces on this Union team where those guys, they didn't play with any of them. They don't care. They don't care about that buddy-buddy relationship. They don't care what they went through in the previous years. They weren't here. Ty wasn't there for 2022. Ty was there for one season with them. Bruno, Lukic, Indy, the three guys off the top of my head right there who had nothing to do with Elliott, had nothing to do with Gazdag, had nothing to do. They don't have that. I'm going to take it easy on them because that was my former. No, those guys have the same mindset as Carnell. They're trying to get their second chance. And what better city than Philadelphia, right? Sports, than to get your second chance or to get your first chance at making it. And I've never really seen a team so bought in. And I got a good comparison for you. It is Curtin, right? He had all that success, but doesn't Robbie Thompson doesn't he have success with the Phillies? But isn't he also that nice guy? He's not gonna call the players out for the most part, not as much as you want him, made it to the title game, but there might be you might need to shake something up in the locker room, right? That's kind of what I feel like Curtin was, and maybe that's what we're seeing for the Union, and maybe the Phillies should take look at what it did for the Eagles, eventually, getting rid of Andy Reid and everything. So, hey, I think the Union have found the formula.
I'm going to go one step further. Jim Curtin was more of the early Andy Reid when he was the Eagles, for that tender, when the Eagles were in multiple playoffs and Super Bowls and didn't climb over the hump. But Andy would take it on the chin, defend his players, all that stuff. Well, that's where I see Jim Curtin. But however, the new guy coming in behind, and like you said, it wasn't like that's where this franchise is the difference with the Phillies is that because the Phillies went out to go spend top dollar on all these big time names. The Union doesn't show the whole wide world you don't need to do that. I could build
using the Union are using the change they found in the couch.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm shining it, and you don't need to do that. I can build through my farm system. That's how you make superstars of this league. It's continuously build through your farm system. I don't need to go out and throw the big change at somebody. Look at where Miami's at. They're not the top of the league like the big splash they had for the last 2 years. They're starting to slow down a little bit. It's the minor moves that make the big plus. And again, they're doing everything right. So let's take a look at some of the comments that are coming in. We got a few. We got Joe Halleck goes, I believe Sunday is going to be a national televised game. It's going to be an Apple TV there, Joe. 6:00 start. I think the U.S. versus Costa Rica game is going to be the national televised game coming at 8:00 later on that night. So I believe the Union. Joe also says, I believe the Union found the fountain of youth. Nah, Joe, it's just they treadle. They have a farm system where they pump out goats and all sorts of great animals. They don't pump out just chicken eggs all the time. Speaking of chicken eggs, here goes a chicken. There goes an egg head. My man Al goes. Big Al goes. Repost this stream. Thank you, big dog.
Big Al's trying to catch on.
Big
Al's he's trying to learn some MLS.
He is trying to learn. We're gonna hook him up with a Union shirt. Total violation on Al. He's him and that dope Mike Laro both live in Delaware County. A hop, skip, and a jump for those two knuckleheads to go to a Union game. And what are they doing? They're sitting on the couch and playing. Never mind. But anyway, you get the drift. But no, I love both those guys. But listen, the Union, man.
What grade would you give the first half?
A+.
Of the season. A+.
A+. I would give, if I had to, head coach A+. Ty Baribo A+. Kai Wagner A+. Defense A+. Goaltending.
Kai got snubbed for the All-Star.
We're about to get into that. If there's any kind of lower grade than an A+, it would be Andrew Rick, who sits at a B+ right now. I mean, I don't know where else to go. I appreciate all the likes coming on TikTok. Thanks, everyone. Caller liked. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I appreciate. And that's because Andrew Rick and a couple of the big time matchups let a couple. In crunch time, he let a couple goals go by him. But again, we can see eye test if that gets fixed this coming Sunday at 6:00. I can't wait. How goes? If I learn anything from Pat, that would be a first. Yeah, listen. You ain't the first one to tell me that. So what is what is the goal trending? The goal trending. So what? The goal is goal is trending. Yes, it is trending, Al. The Union are in first place and not just in the East, but across the board, like the best team in MLS. Like Steve, I'll tell you again, I feel like there's the Union, then there's the rest of the MLS teams. Like
right now,
they're first team to 40 points, 12 wins, 3 losses, 4 draws. Like they haven't sniffed defeat since early April. That was the last time they tasted a little defeat. I mean, was up in New York. That's the last time I could think of. I mean, this team is just.
I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I would say I think you might be right.
I mean, when was this team facing?
13. It's been 13 now matches that they've gone unbeaten. That's either been a win or a draw. So I mean, yeah, I'm trying to look back and think about
and think about this too, Steve. Too. What if I was to tell you this team was going to sit in first place with a brand new head coach? By June they were going to have a bunch of call-ups. You were going to have Andre Blake for now majority of the first of the half. You're going to have this Andre Ricketts filling his shoes. And this team is first place. I mean, right? Have you ever seen something like that? And would that blow your mind?
Not even in other sports, right? That's usually the recipe for, we're going to go tank and get a good draft pick and everything like that. I can't even try to predict on where they're going to end points wise, right? Are they going to get to the point where they're flirting with breaking the all-time points record, things like that? That's what we're getting ready to, enter into those sort of conversations. And what scares me is to enter those sort of conversations, because then it just, what we talked about before, is it championship or bust? And it's getting to the point where if you keep toppling over, achievements and breaking club records and things like that, well, that expectation is that's what it's going to be. Now, is this young team, are they going to be able to handle that sort of pressure? I think with having a guy like Carnell leading them, they should, right?
Yeah, and that's like, again, this guy triggers challenges. Like he's trigger on challenges being the best. And it's weird with this guy, man. He's not sitting here and on his hands wanting like you said, most teams and more in any other sport, you get to your backups, you get to your third string guys, your seasons are, you might as well just throw in the towel and call it quits. But no, he dials things up. And just like Al here says, so was it coaching that caused them from falling short in the past? Like I just mentioned to you, Al, like Jim Curtin was to me the perfect way I could put it. He was the Andy Reid. He was Andy Reid from 2012. He, nice guy, great. Have a cheesesteak with you.
Get you to the playoffs.
get you to the playoffs multiple times. Great success, people person, yada yada yada. This guy now, Al, he's a dog. It's like he's not a people person. He gets snippy with people. He gets people. Matter of fact, I've seen him get snippy with me and about 15 other people in that press box room. I mean, he's gotten snippy just with anybody. But you know what? The data, the paperwork, the results is what you want. Like this guy, all he does is focuses on his opponents, brings the best out of his whole team. He doesn't always start with his starters. Sometimes he brings the starters off the bench. Sometimes he'll bring the starters off the bench. He mixes up his rotations, his formations. You don't know what he's going to throw you from week to week, and the opposing defense don't know what playbook to gear up from. It could be from A to Z. They don't know which one to dial up for. It's freaking nuts, man. I love it.
I don't know if you could make him cry. You wouldn't be able to make Carnell cry. with a question.
I don't think you. I got
in a press conference.
No, that's going to be one tough egg to crack. That is one. Is there any players that you would trade for or get signed someone? Oh, that's a good question there, Joe. Is there any players? Pretty much, if it's to me, if the old saying is, if it ain't cracked, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Could they go out and make a trade? Could they elevate? Now, the only thing they did was they brought in Ben Bender, who is that was like the only move that they kind of made. Again, minor tweet, midfielder, minor tweet. Nothing huge from the Philadelphia Union. They kind of, again, they don't look to spend the big scroll. They kind of like to keep things building through their farm system, building through. They, if anything, they look for minor moves, which I love, by the way, because you've seen this foul with the Phillies spending the big dollar and not getting the results that you want. Yeah, you got playoff time, but as far as it goes, you made it to the big dance, but you've backtrailed back since. This team has only gotten better, and by releasing their head coach and all that other stuff, it was a time for a change. Al says,
and I know,
did Pat make him cry? No. Not
him.
If anything, he made me cry, Al, more ways than one. But that's another story.
I know there was that article and report from Jonathan Tannenwald about how Thomas Mueller was offered to the Union, and Tanner turned it down. And I know, like, some of the fan base were like, "How could you not go? How could you not get that star of a player, that big name?" He's old. Does he have some game left in him? Yes. But if you weren't going to pay Gazdag the money that he wanted, what makes anybody think that they were going to go pay this international all-star player who has the resume, the titles, the championships that he has to come here? It just wasn't going to happen. You're going to get a guy back from being healthy like Lavinovich. That's like a new player. You could get Neil Pierre getting his first start coming up soon with what you need in depth. There's players here that can handle it.
Steve, you kind of threw this at me. And how about this for a Kickstarter? The guy who led this team in goals. Do you know what they did with him? And matter of fact, go to a contender. Go to a contender. We don't need you.
Matter of fact, he hasn't done anything with him.
And he hasn't done a squad with over there. Again, just when you think the Union front office has lost their minds, no, they've made me look like a jackass in more ways than one. And now
they're playing chess.
Yeah,
we're playing checkers.
Yes, yeah, right. You know what I mean? So again, this front office. But Steve, before I let you go, I gotta ask you. Something's really chapped your buns in the last 24 hours. Yes, are we happy to see Ty Baribo get the nod for the All-Star break? Absolutely. Are we excited to see Glasnes get the call for the All-Star game? Absolutely. But the midfielders, you tell me they couldn't bring in Kai Wagner? I mean, I looked at this. I'm like, I'm looking at the couple of guys. They snubbed him for the kid from Chicago, Philip Zingelangel. I don't know how to say his name, but they snubbed him for him. Are you like Kai Wagner was the first player to reach 7 assist points? Like, I don't know if the MLS has been watching this team, but if it wasn't for Kai Wagner, Ty Baribo wouldn't have half the points he's had. He's been his wingman through this entire dance. He's been his wingman at the club for this entire time. He's got eagle eye. He knows how to set up the big plays. Like if it wasn't for Kai Wagner and Frankie Westfield, half the stuff wouldn't be going on right
now. No, he's the best left back in the MLS. The fact that he gets snubbed year after year after year, and all it does is bring that dog out in him, right?
Yes.
He already has that dog in him, and he's already bringing that dog out in him each game. all this does is just add more stuff to that bulletin board, his personal bulletin board about, why I'm going to come out each. And like you said, he was up there in leading the league in assists earlier on in the season. How many of they made a damn drink at Subaru Park called the Kai Tai, because of how many assists that they were getting, Kai to tie. So it's frustrating. It just goes to show that all-star games, just like any other league, it's all a popularity contest, and he's not a popular player throughout MLS. He is here. We all love him.
It's frustrating.
It's
frustrating, man, because so I've seen the players who were voted and selected by the GMs and the commissioner and all of that other mumbo jumbo. Joe House says, so with the All-Star game, do they get a week off? Yes, they will probably get another break. But after
the second week in July, I think.
Yeah, and then Pat can't pronounce the name. I'm shocked. I'm right, Stephen. That says yes.
Don't it's a never-ending bit.
Yes, it's never ending. I mean, I think I've been calling that guy that since he started. Yes. Don't you insult my intelligence there, Mr. Safiri. Oh, man. That guy. He's always know how to talk about chapping butts around here. That guy knows how to do that.
That's how you know the Phillies game was early, because he's here. He's here giving you a hard time on a Thursday night.
Well, yes. Yeah. I mean, he usually gives me a hard time on a Sunday morning. I mean, I need an Advil after 60 minutes between him and Mike, but
he's just getting prepped.
But you know what? I love Al bringing in the soccer questions. So listen, he's curious about the team. Usually, Al didn't pay attention, so he must be paying attention to the standings. He must be keeping his eye on this Union team, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? I'm happy.
I think there's enough. I think when you make this much noise, and when you had no expectations, right, for this season, and you make this amount of noise, I see them at the bottom ticker. I watch Fox 5 News in the morning, getting ready for work every morning, and at the bottom ticker, I'm starting to see in the sports part, they're throwing in Union stuff, right, and so I think with the Club World Cup being here in Philly at the Link, with the World Cup next year going to be here at the Link, I think how well the Union are doing, it's attracting people's eyes to at least, see it, because they deserve to be noticed with what they're doing.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, that's a good call by you, Steve. I mean, with everybody coming to the Link, and by the way, good turnout for soccer fans. I mean, kind of, everybody's just enjoying the countries, the two teams playing against each other. Like it's been a surreal thing at the Link. And with the way the Philadelphia Union are trending in the up direction, I wouldn't be surprised more eyes do start following, because we all know everyone likes a winner, and with the winner teams kind of being, in rebuild mode, the Phillies being up and down. I mean, really, you got the Eagles and the Union right now that are kind of like your 1-2 punch. And that's a good thing to have. It's good when you have a basketball, a soccer team that's playing well. And you saw the last back in 22, TV ratings went up by 20% when the Union were in the finals. That's because Philly will get back and support a team when they're in that kind of mode, when they're in that, you know what I mean? So Al goes, did Pat set up the fireworks off the Link? Al, I can't even spell fireworks, bud. I'm too dumb. I would be burning.
That was crazy. That scene.
Yes. Yeah, it was crazy. Hey, dude, it's a tremendous atmosphere. I know a lot of people went down there. Oh, here goes Joe. Goes FS1 mentions the Union.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. They have to, Joe, because FS1 does get some of their games. So get some MLS games. So, but again, the biggest draw is the Philadelphia Union. It's always going to because why Philadelphia sports teams are always going to be ranked. This is the most passionate sports town. No matter it's soccer, lacrosse, it doesn't matter. If someone's playing well, you could be just fans of 4for4, but hey, listen, a soccer team's doing well. It draws the casual eye, and that's what it's just a natural thing. It'll draw. It always will drink. Take me to a match. Yeah, let's take Al to a match.
Hey, we can find a game to get him to for sure.
I don't know if Al wants to sit next to me. I mean, he thinks I smell half the time, but it's okay. I mean, he can always hang out with me. No,
Al, look at the schedule. I'll text the schedule and I'll text you the schedule. You find a game, find a home game. We'll make it happen.
I mean, it's a great atmosphere. I mean, the Sons of Bend get things rallied and all that. And how about that, Steve? About approximately a year ago, the home fan base was ready to walk out on this team.
Literally walk out.
They put a huge sign in the middle of the ground saying, coach for hire, team for hire, all that other stuff. Like the home team, sell the team. Like the home-hearted fan base was making fun of this team, who ride and die with this team. And now look, we are a year later, walking on water, walking like nothing's going to bother this team. It's amazing the 180 that this team has done up until this point. And again, I'm going to circle back to the Bradley Carnell formula. The way that the defense plays, the way that the offense is constructed, it's amazing. Like the offense can shoot from outside of the 18 mark. They can shoot in two-piece sets. They're very creative. And on defense, they track down players. You can't get comfortable on a breakaway. You can't get comfortable coming off the edge. You can't get comfortable think you're going to score in transition, because there's always going to be someone in your face to break up a play. And then you don't have nothing to fall back on. You don't know what playbook Bradley Carnell is going to throw at you, A to Z. It's a good thing to say. And what's he said since day one? These guys are in competition for a job Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday. It's amazing. Like you've seen it. How many times under the Jim Curran playbook, right? If the team played on a Wednesday, they're not up cheap. All those things, Steve.
And you touched on it about the defense. Think about how many. Even going into this season, Harriel was injured, right? So you were always dealing with a makeshift defense and guys playing out of place. And he still is able to make it work. And I think that's the biggest thing for me that stands out is the defense and what he's been able to kind of disguise it in a way of that being a weakness on the team. On paper, it's a weakness for sure, but when you put what he's able to on the field, he's able to mask it. And really the players are with what they're able to do and have them being bought in and everything like that. So I think Carnell he'll take them as far as these players are willing to go for him. And I think they're ready to go to distance.
I'm with you. This question actually does scratch my head a little bit, because I'm wondering how. True. I wonder how much does Kevin Durant has bought into this team at all, or is you think he's just giving the Ernest and just letting him run with things? I mean, it does kind of bother your mind, but no. Back to your statement, no. I mean, I think the big thing you can circle is the defense. It is the defense that that stands out most about this team. When I go to the Union games this year, I'll message the both of you guys. I appreciate that, Joe. I appreciate it. Pat Dial Up Bernard. Yes, I do use Dial Up a lot and momentum builders. But yeah, Steve. So like I said, big matchup on Sunday. I think that I got a couple games under my slate before I let you go. I have Union Columbus Crew Sunday, 6:00 game of the week. Who do you got winning in that one?
You know, I thought when I saw the lineup last night, I was like, this has got to be an L. This is where it all stops. But I think they might have Ty back. I think they might have Danley back. You're going to get maybe you get Andre Blake back. But I'm comfortable with either him or Rick. I think they can go out and get a win. You know, I'd be comfortable with a draw. I want to say 2-2 draw, but the way this team's playing, I want to say a 2-1 win.
You're feeling the Joe Hal 2-1 winner. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to. I don't know why I'm dialed in. I'm going to say they learned from their mistake. I think Andrew Rick is looking for the matchup, and yes, give me the 2-1 win in Columbus. Road Warriors, as I continue to say about this team. Road Warriors, now this will be the second of 3 games that they'll be on the road, but yes, Road Warriors nonetheless. We have DC taking on Nashville. Who do you got?
Oh, Nashville's going to kill DC. DC.
I got Nashville.
Easy, yeah. That one's going to be.
It's in DC. Yeah, I have Nashville, Smashville. Montreal's hosting NYCFC. I'm going to go NYCFC on this one.
Yeah, I think we're at the point of the season where like the teams who are borderline playoff are close to making that move to be in, getting a home playoff game or home advantage. I think NYCFC is going to beat them.
All right, and I'm going to go with you. Here goes New England hosting Colorado. I'm going to go New England on this one.
And I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go Colorado.
Okay, you take Colorado. And Red Bulls hosting Minnesota.
This is going to be a good one. But I'm going to go. Where's this one at? Is this in Minnesota?
In New York.
All right,
North Jersey.
FC. Yeah, New Jersey.
I'll take Minnesota. And then you have one of the games of the night on Saturday, game of the night. You have Orlando hosting Cincinnati.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Orlando.
You're going to go with Orlando. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw in this one.
There we go.
That's going to be my first draw. You have Toronto hosting Portland.
That'd be good for the Union. Is a 1-1 draw right there.
I agree with Al here. Al says another New York team who plays in New Jersey. Come on, man. Yeah, the Red Bulls play in New Jersey, and NYCFC plays at Yankee Stadium. So, yeah.
The rivalry ad for that game on the 12th was funny because it says Philadelphia versus New York in quotations, and then underneath it says New Jersey.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's tough. I think their stadium is like right across the street from MetLife Stadium. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go Portland on this one. Here goes a team. Both teams really need this dub. Philly gave them both a shellacking. Chicago and Charlotte both have 25 points, both kind of battling for that last playoff spot. I'm going to go Chicago on this one. I think Charlotte's cooked.
I'm going to say the opposite. I think Chicago, after seeing the type of Union team that they just lost to, I think they're embarrassed and they're not going to be able to bounce back. Give me Charlotte.
Give you Charlotte, okay. Dallas hosting San Diego. Give me San Diego.
Yeah, I think San Diego as well. They're going to be up there fighting Vancouver for that top spot in the West.
Yeah, they're there, man. They're steamrolling. Kansas City hosting Salt Lake City.
Give me Salt Lake City. Give me a
Give me
rainbow in Salt Lake. Yeah.
give me 1-1 draw.
You got a big draw weekend coming up.
Oh yeah, I love the draws. Not those kind of draws either. Houston hosting St. Louis.
No McGlynn for Houston. I'm gonna go St. Louis.
Give me Houston still. I don't know why it's playing the back of my mind. Here goes another team that's kind of creeped up on no one's radar, but they're making a splash. San Jose taking on LA Galaxy. Give me San Jose.
And who are they going up against?
They are taking on LA Galaxy.
Oh, LA Galaxy. No, I'm gonna go with the Galaxy. They get their second win.
Okay. Second win. The world champions only getting their second win. Crazy.
Wow.
Seattle taking on Austin, Texas. Austin.
I'm gonna go with Austin, Texas. I'm gonna give Texas the win as they get geared up to host the All-Star game.
According to a former listener of the show, Angry Anthony, I'm going to go Seattle. As he accused me of Seattle.
They got beat good in what's it called, in the Club World Cup.
So Al wants to know. I guess he wants to know who's the rivalry here. Who do we hate the most?
The Red Bulls.
Fans? The Red Bulls The Red Bulls has always been their number one rivalry, but they've owned them. I would say number 2 would be NYCFC, but they've owned them as well. So
and third, I would say Cincinnati, just because there's a lot of history.
Yeah, I mean now if
the last 5 years.
Yeah, if you're looking for the rivalries, it's the 2 New York teams. But if you're looking for who's competing with them right now, both Ohio teams right now are competing with them.
Yeah.
And Orlando. So here goes Sunday's schedule. We have, like I mentioned, you have Columbus and Philly going at it. And then you have another decent matchup, LAFC taking on Vancouver.
I'm going to go Vancouver. I think LAFC, they're coming right back from the Club World Cup. They got knocked out too, so I think they're going to have some tired legs. I think Vancouver needs to keep up with the Union in the Supporter Shield.
Rankings. I'm with you. They got to bounce back. I think Vancouver, it's been sitting on top of the West for so long. Now San Diego is now taking over the realms. So yeah, they're going to need to come out and beat the brakes off LAFC. So, but yeah, that'll be that's the week up that's the slate for the weekend. Steve, as we do as our Broad Street bottom line, what is your, I guess, 291 Broad Street bottom line, or I guess that's what you would call it. What
the Chester bottom line?
The Chester bottom line. What would be your bottom line for this team for Saturday's matchup?
Just continue to grind, continue to grit, grind out wins. Right, that's what all these wins have been. Right, and what. I've never thought that, the other shoe's going to fall eventually, right? Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep this mindset, keep this level of intensity that they have. Keep continuing to be bought in to Carnell's theory and his culture and what he's trying to do here. And it's not even what he's trying to do, it's what he is doing. And what chemistry and what's the word I'm looking for? Like camaraderie that this club has right now. It's special to watch. So I think you just gotta continue what they're doing. They're getting some fresh legs back, some bodies back. And yeah, 2-1 win. 2-1 win.
To me, What's been the ever story of this team is Bradley Carnell. He never seems to amaze me. You don't know what he's going to do next. You don't know what he has up his sleeve. You don't know how he's going to hurt and try to deflect and revenge on Columbus Crew. I don't know what to expect, but to me, yeah, let's close this one out. Let's show the world that we not only could take care of the bottom feeders. Let's close out a game against the top-notch teams, because the last two meetings against Columbus and Miami, they were unfortunately to close out the games when they had the lead. So they have to close out the big one here. If they could shut the door on Columbus to head into Nashville after that, you're going to feel pretty good about yourself. So, and that's going to be our show. So, guys, again, stay tuned. We have a lot going on. We have Matty B, who's going to be doing his show coming on right after this. So, guys, stay tuned. You get more of It's a Wrap Sports, and we have more stuff getting ready to come into play here. So, guys, again, you catch me tomorrow night on It's a Wrap Sports. Who's got the final tomorrow? Al?
Should be, yeah, Friday.
Friday nights with Al. That could be scary. And then
the Atlanta series, right?
Yeah. And then, of course, you got Saturday and Sunday, and, of course, PM and the AM will never be the same with me, Mike. It is a truly scary place to be. I advise don't have your children wake up to this mess with me and Al, producing the program. So, again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. And we appreciate all 65 live viewers who are on watching us right now. So, again, guys, thank you so much. Go Union. We'll talk about this matchup next Thursday. See you guys. Have a good one.
Doop.
Doop it is.